Okay, today we are going to be looking at quadrilaterals and triangles and how you classify them. Okay, first let's look at quadrilaterals. Oops. So we're looking at classifying quadrilaterals. So first you have looking at the word quadrilateral. So quad means four, and lateral means like if you're going to do a lateral pass, that would be like right next to it. It's not going to go. It's not anything more or less. So it's kind of like the lines. It's right within a line. So it's four sides or four lines. So the first one that we have would be the quadrilateral. The first quadrilateral is going to be a parallelogram where both opposite sides are parallel. So these two sides are parallel to each other, and then these two sides are parallel to each other. So we have two sets of parallel lines. Next one that we're going to look at, which is a parallelogram, is a rectangle. And a rectangle has four right angles. And then again, just like a parallelogram, opposite sides are parallel. So the next thing we have is a square, which is also a parallelogram and a rectangle. It's got four right angles, and then all of its sides are congruent. So they're all the same. So just like on your rectangle, opposite sides are parallel to each other, like your parallelogram. So the top and the bottom, and then the left and the right. Then you also have a parallelogram that could be a rhombus, which means that there are four congruent sides, but they don't have to have the right angles. It's just that all the sides have to be the same. All right, which means the rhombus is a square is a rhombus and a rectangle because it's got the four congruent sides and the four right angles. And all of these are quadrilaterals. When you're at quadrilaterals, you also could have a trapezoid. So a trapezoid has exactly one pair of parallel lines, so opposite sides are parallel. So just this one and these are parallel, the other ones are not, which is your difference between your parallelogram, because your parallelogram has two sets of parallel lines. All right, so that is how we classify quadrilaterals. So let's go ahead and do your five quadrilaterals again real quick. Our parallelogram, rectangle, square, rhombus, and trapezoid. So now let's look at what the difference of triangles are. Oops, hold on, sorry about that. Technical difficulties here. All right, so let's look at the types of triangles. So your first types of triangles, So you have, sorry guys, an equilateral triangles, isosceles triangle, and your scalene triangle. So remember, these are when you're doing it by the edges, when you're looking at the triangles based on its edges. So first we have the equilateral triangle. So an equilateral triangle, isosceles triangle again, and your scalene triangle. So equilateral, all the sides are the same length. So each of these would be the exact same length as each other. Then you have an isosceles triangle, so two sides are the same. So these sides are the same, and then this one would be different. And then you have a scalene, where none of the sides are the same. They're all different sizes. Okay? So we can also, let's review real quick. All sides are equal on an equilateral triangle. And there we go. And then if we look at the isosceles, again, two sides are equal. And then the scalene, which you have none sides. None of your sizes are equal. All the sides are different. They're all different lengths. So it still has three sides. Okay, so if we look at the angles, remember this is a review from what we had the other day. So let's go through this really quickly. So a right triangle would have a right angle. Acute triangle is going to have all three acute angles. And an obtuse triangle would have just an obtuse angle and two acutes. All right. Good job, guys. So different triangles. So remember, if I were looking at the edges, it'd be isosceles, equilateral, and scaling. And if we are going to be looking at them based on the angles, it would be right, acute, or obtuse. Okay, so don't forget to bring in these definitions and their pictures. So you should have 6 of 4-sided figures and then 6 types of triangles. So remember, quadrilateral and then all the different kinds of quadrilaterals. And then your 6 types of classifying triangles by the 3 angles and the 3 by sides. All right, bring this in tomorrow with have those definitions and those pictures drawn for it. Okay, guys.